This is Miss Becky from the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library, and I am going to show you how to make these beautiful rubber band bracelets with a fork.
Okay, so you're going to start with your clasp. You may have C clasp or the S clasp, and that looks more like an S like that. And you're going to take your first loop, you're going to pinch it, kind of fold it in half, and kind of thread it through the hole in the clasp, kind of like threading a needle. See how that goes? So you should have both sides of the loop inside your clasp. Or if you have a C clasp, you know, this one's a little easier because there's one big hole instead of two small ones. So you're just going to slip your loop in there. Make sure both your sides are contained in there. Now we're going to put these end loops onto your fork loom like that. Make sure both of your, I'm going to turn it so that the round part is up. Maybe not, just leave it there. And then you're going to put your next color on. You're going to put one band over top. You're going to take that bottom one, pull it up over one side. You might want to pinch it here so that it doesn't move too much, and pull the other side. And then you're just going to keep your work down here. So now we need the next color. And then pull it up like you did before. Give your work a little tug to keep it down there. Don't pull on the clasp because you might pull it off, but pull on the loops. Okay. Okay. Tug, keep your loops down. Put on the next one. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to keep going until it gets long enough to go around your wrist. Once you figure out what you're doing, this will go pretty quickly. Okay, we're starting to get something there. Just make sure your work stays down so it doesn't all slip off the ends of your fork. This side, over this side, and next one. Side, get down. Oops, get over there. So just keep going till it's long enough to go around your wrist. Okay, so now this looks to be pretty much long enough to go around. It'll stretch a little bit. So what you're going to do next, you're going to slip these off, don't lose, hang on to those loops, kind of bend them over so you got both of them together there, and you're going to bring your clasp up. If you got the C clasp, you can just pop it in there with the other end. It's already in here. That's taking up residence in the one side. Okay. Make room in there for this. Okay. oop, oop. Don't lose your loop. Okay, there's my loops. There's my clasp. And I'm just gonna slip those. And onto that slip. Yeah, slip. Go. I'm gonna have to pull them till they slip in. There. Okay. And you've got your bracelet. So that's the single. And now I'm going to show you how to do the double. Okay, so now I have my S-clip. And I'm going to do what I did before. Take this loop, pinch it in half so I have a little end to tuck through the clasp, like that. Stick it on your fork, like that. Now, put your next band and your next one. So you're going to have 2 bands on there now. And you're going to do like before, you're going to pull this up over. Pull that side over. And now, I'm going to get fancy. It's kind of hard to keep track of your pattern. You have to be very careful when you're doing this. To make sure, because you're working 3 ahead. So now you have 2 on top and the 1 on the bottom coming over. Make sure to give your work a little tug so it stays down there on the fork. Okay. So this one will take probably around 50 bands. So keep going with this one. And you can make a pattern, or you can just do random, whatever. You can just do repeating. Mine here is kind of going back and forth. Like, it's red, orange, yellow, orange, red, orange, yellow. Which is a little bit harder than if you just keep repeating the same colors. And you can do 2, or you can do, I just did a rainbow one somewhere. This one. I had 6 repeating colors for this one. But you just have to watch, make sure that you're following the right pattern. It's a little bit to keep track of while you're doing this. So we're going to keep going like we did before, and you see this one is a little bit more dense, a little bit more even and together. So I'm going to keep going with this, and then I'll show you. It finishes this just about the same as the other one. Okay, so it's long enough. Go around my wrist. So I'm going to, I'm not going to add another one this time. We're just going to pull the bottom one up over so that you have one last loop there. We're going to finish it the way we finished the other one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just be careful you don't lose your loops. We have our 2 ends, and find a hole in your clip time might be easier. Stretch it a little bit till it pops in there. Okay. Now this kind, a little bit more intricate, a little bit thicker, sturdier. And this one takes about 50 band loops. Okay, so if you have lost your clasp, or you have some extra loops left over and you want to know how to make one without a clasp, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to take your loop and you're going to make a twist. So that, yeah, you're going to make a twist so that kind of looks like a figure 8 in there. You can see that. So the first one goes on like that. And then your second one, you proceed the way you did before. Put your loop on. I'm only going to do a single loop on this one. Pull your ends over. Oops. Okay. Keep going. Pulling your pulling your work down as you go. And keep it going until you're ready, until it's long enough. And so on. Okay, so we've got our piece here already. So we're going to take a loop. We're going to cut it open. Now you're going to take your end. Remember that twisty loop we put on at the beginning? You're going to find both sides of that loop and you're going to thread that through and just hang on to it. And now we're going to take the loops off of here. Make sure you hang on to those. And you're going to thread. Don't. Make sure you have the other end in here. And then you're going to take this end and loop it through the opposite loops. Those two end loops there. This is a little bit fiddly. Okay, so now you've got all your loops on here, and tie a knot. You gotta stretch it out a little bit so you can. Okay, and then if you can, whoops, don't lose your ends. You wrap it around your finger, pull it through. It's like you're tying a knot in your shoelace. And maybe one more time just for security here. Ta-da! And now you can, if you want, trim off the ends, or if you want to leave them hang, that's up to you. I would rather not do that. And there you go. And you got your little tie right there. Okay, so there you have it. How to make the different kinds of bracelets. your beautiful creations. I hope yours turn out well. And I hope this is helpful. This video has been helpful for you. Enjoy!